Oh. Hey guys, thank you for joining another episode of Mukbang with your host, Dongdigity. Today I wanted to kinda give another chance on a porridge because the spicy seafood flavor one was so bad. Well, it wasn't bad, but it did not satisfy my stomach. So I decided to get my favorite porridge, which is a abalone, it was a packaged one, so you can't really see abalone. But honestly, when Kimmy makes me abalone porridge when I'm sick, so good. Okay. So I made this little chili oil with sesame oil mixed together. This is how I normally eat it when I go to Chinese restaurant. I mix it like this. Oh, that spiciness, so good. This is how I like it. And put some shredded seaweed. So there's a story about this kid. It says, draw your most favorite food, right? And everybody was grabbing like all these colorful crayons and coloring it and all that. And this one kid was just focused on filling this whole paper with black crayon. And teacher was like, what are you doing? Like, I told you to draw your favorite food. And this little kid was filling this up. And then at the end, teacher asked, hey, I told you to draw your favorite food. And he's like, I did. It's a seaweed. How can you fail that, right? Also, the reason I'm eating porridge will be because the other day I had a buldak japchae and buldak dumpling. It was so freaking spicy and my stomach was not doing so well. I thought I was strong enough, but I was wrong. So good. I went swimming and one of my ear always gets clogged and it never, I don't know how. I tried to hit it. I do. Nah, it's still there. It's gonna bother me all day. So I noticed all the college people are all back. Well, at least that's what I see at our gym. There's millions of college kids with the fraternity shirt. And for me, now it's like almost 10 years since the high school. I usually wouldn't keep a track of those things unless the Facebook didn't tell me. Power Facebook. This total, because I use 2 packages, are about 500 calories, which is pretty low. So Kimmy told me that she kind of wish she went to a senior year prom, and I do feel for her. I wonder why she didn't go, but she told me like she had a chance, but she thought it would be more fun to do something else with her friends. I went to prom all freshman, sophomore, junior, senior years. But not until junior and senior year, I didn't go with people that I had a crush on or anything. Sometimes the things that I've done during high school, oh my gosh. In the middle of the night, I kicked my blanket. Like, you know, sometimes when you're thinking, oh my god, why did I do that? Kind of like, I don't know if you guys do it, but I do that. I could freak out in the middle of the night, like, why did I do that? Why did I embarrass myself? But you just gotta think, right? Now you're grown there, or now you're grown, so that's why you realize that was a foolish. And plus, it's okay. You were young. I'm not saying all the bad things are, you know, okay, but I'm just saying some foolish stuff you did. That I was cool, tried to practice dance and stuff. I think the greatest memory of my high school year will be the fact that I had more freedom, or, well, I went into school a little later than people because I went back and forth from US to Korea, and even though I finished 2nd grade in Korea, they'll send me to 2nd grade in US again. So I really like the fact that I was older than a lot of people. So when I was like one of the first person to get a driver's license, and I don't know what's the current right now, like age, but when I was in high school, it was 16. that you could get licensed. I didn't even want to take the class at school because our school offered licensing, but I knew that would take too long, and doing it privately is much faster. So I took like in totally different town, so I could take my exam as soon as I turned 16. And the first test, I actually failed my driver's license test. And this was after everything's done. The instructor and me, we were driving back into a parking lot now. We were in the same parking lot where we started. So basically it's almost done, right? As soon as I park. And the instructor's like, you did good, you did good. You must drive a lot, like you practice a lot, I could see that, and blah blah blah. And then suddenly this car pops out of nowhere. So I stopped. And then the lady said, go ahead. So I went. And the person said, oh, I'm so sorry. Do you know who was the, what is it, head of turn, or who goes first? And I was like, but she said I could, but that's not the rule. So I was pretty pissed. And then I got out, and there were a bunch of other guys that was with me to witness my driving skill, but they heard I failed because of that parking lot. And then they tried to argue with the instructor for me, but I'm like, forget it. So next day I went, because obviously I didn't have any issue with all the other driving parts. So next day I went and I took the test and passed. And for a year or two I have to drive so many people around. And I was totally fine with it. And you know how happy you get, like, oh, my driver license, and you drive everywhere. And at that time, gas were real cheap. As low as like 99 cents per gallon. But all of a sudden, now it's like over $3. I was so sad. I filled it up last week for $3.19. I seriously think I could eat this all day. Yum, 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 yum. But yeah, there always is that one dude that'll make you drive over an hour to drop him off at his house. And I can't believe I still did it. This porridge was so much better, so much tastier, and I enjoyed it so much. Hope you guys have a safe weekend, and thank you for joining me.